So this is one of the less common forms, but the vertebrate animal form is the 5A form. As I mentioned to you in previous videos, this is something that's taken very seriously by the IRB. This form starts off with your name and the title of your project. Below, you have to include some information about the animals that you'll be using, including their common name, what will happen to them after experimentation, if you have any licenses or approval forms, if you need those for the animals that you'll be using. This is one of the interesting parts here. It says that the animal rules require that any death, illness, or unexpected weight loss be investigated and documented by a letter from the qualified scientist, designated supervisor, or veterinarian. If applicable, attach this letter with this form when submitting your paperwork to the SRC prior to competition. So you have to undergo a scientific review committee or an SRC before you can have experimentation done on animals. They will determine whether you need just a designated supervisor or a veterinarian and a designated supervisor. In some instances, you actually need three things. You need a veterinarian, a designated supervisor, and a qualified scientist. It entirely depends on your experiment. I know I mentioned this before, but it's been made clear to us, coming down from people, especially at Lehigh Valley Science Fair, that if you have an animal die for any reason, they're most likely going to invalidate your project. So something like this, although it can be very interesting research, you're taking a risk because you could have an animal die potentially, and it's not even a result of something from your trial. But even so, like your project would be terminated at that point. So I just want to make people fully aware of that when they choose a project of this type. I'm not trying to dissuade you in any way. I'm just making you fully aware of one of the potential outcomes when it comes to choosing a project of this type.